In this video, we're going to go through the programs that were assigned, I guess, for Wednesday. That's 14 and 15 at the end of chapter 4. The last one, 16, on doing the squares with the turtles. Turtles aren't going to be in the exam, so I'm not going to worry about that yet. In fact, if you want to turn that one in, let's say Monday, that's not going to be a problem, okay? So on 14, let's start with that one. We basically want to create this pattern. There's 7 and 6. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And the book gives some examples, but the basic idea here is we're going to have 2 loops. Okay. So one loop is going to deal with the row that we're on. Okay. We're going to start with row 1, row 2, and so forth. Okay. And then the inner loop is going to deal with printing out the number of asterisks. Okay. So we want to make sure something's moving from 7 the first time to 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 and so forth. Okay. And if you want to just make this a comment too, just so it's there for you to look at, that's going to be okay. Okay. So we want, again, if we're going to take this idea that one loop is going to print out just the columns. Okay, so I'm going to use the 4C, let's say in range 3, for instance, just to build what we're talking about here. Okay, that's going to go 0, 1, and 2. Okay, each time through, if I print, in this case, an asterisk, okay, but I want the end to be equal to nothing, it's going to keep that on the same line. Okay, so when we run this gives us an idea how we're going to do all these problems, really. Okay, it printed out the 3. Okay, we're good. Okay, now we're going to need, for it to work right out here, to have just a blank print statement. Okay, and that's just going to give us another line there. Okay, so we can do it for 1. So now it's just a matter, I want it to print out 7 the first time. Okay, and then 6, and then 5, and so forth. So if I indent all this over, I can do my outer loop as follows. So I can do for R, because I'm going to call that row, in range, this one should start off being 7. We want it to go to 1, so I have to go more than 1 of that, so that's 0. Okay. Since we're going backwards, or I could say 1 minus 1, but 0 is what we're headed toward. Okay. Again, because we're doing the -1, that's why we do a negative instead of a positive. Okay, so that's going to give me the first time through a 7, and then a 6, and a 5, a 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and that should work, and that should give me the number of asterisks we need. Okay, so then this is going to be for C then in range not 3, but in range R. Okay, so the first time through, it's going to print 7 asterisks with no spaces and no end lines. And then 6, and then 5, and 4. Okay, see if this works. And there you go. Okay, that is almost obscenely too easy, and I understand that, but try to think about what's happening with the idea that we're building each row inside of here. Okay, I'm going around and printing a single asterisk 7 times, then 6 times, and then 5 times, and then so forth. Okay, and 15 is got a little bit different of an issue. Okay, so for 15, again, I'm going to go ahead and just put it in the same program. Okay, its pattern, it's octothorpe's anyway, so we're okay. We start there, then we're going to do this with 1 space, do that with 2 spaces. We're going to do it with 3 spaces. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, and there are a total of 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows here. Okay, so when I'm looking at what changes, okay, so I know for whatever we're doing here, so we're going to have our R in range. Let's do it with a 6. We can start there. Okay, that's going to go from 0 through 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 to 5, sorry. That's okay. Okay. And I know each time through, I'm going to print out. So I'm now going to do my inner loop. I'm going to print out an octothorpe and another octothorpe somewhere. But what's going up or down, that's where the second loop is going to come from. And what that is are the number of spaces. So here I'm going to do 0 spaces, then 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space. Okay. And you can make a little note to yourself that this has 0 spaces. So that's 1. I went too far. This has 2. This has 3. This has 4. This has 5. Okay. So again, just to print one of these, let's try to print it for 4. Let's build that one. Okay. So the 4, okay, there are 4 spaces. So let's do a C in range 4. Okay. Then before I get into that, okay, I'm going to have to print out a single asterisk first, or a single octothorpe with the end equal to nothing. That's the first one. I'm going to go through this time 4 times. Again, I'm trying to do this row here. And each time through, I'm going to print a space. And again, my end is going to be equal to that. Okay, so that should print out the asterisk. And then for 0, 1, 2, and 3, it's going to print a space all on the same line. Okay, I'm still on the same line. I'm done with that. And I should be able to print an asterisk. And that time, I think I can do a new line character. Okay, so let's see. This should do the one with 4, right? And there's that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. So that's one of those. Okay, so now I just have to get this to vary. Okay, so the first time I do this, so again, I'm going to take all this over, indent it. My outer loop here then is going to be for R in range. If I want to go from 0 to 5, I do a range 6. Okay, and then I print this every time. Then I'm going to go through, but this time I'm going to go up through range R. Okay, and then I'm going to print the first time. That'll be 0 spaces the first time, and then 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 spaces, and then we're done. Okay, so this should work. I'm going to go ahead and print a divider in here, just of something so we know that we're on the other problem. Okay, run this and see if we got it. There we go. We've got it. Okay, double check the book. Yep, looks right. Okay, so again, the idea with these is that we're going to have a row loop and a column loop. The column loop builds the row, and then the rows go through all the rows. We have to figure out what's changing each time. Okay, this time we have to go from 7 stars down to 1 star. That's our inner loop. This goes from 0 spaces up to 5 spaces. That's our inner loop there. Okay, that gives us these 2 bits of code. Okay. Okay, so again, I'm not going to do 16 yet. I don't want you to worry about 16 yet. You can turn that in as late as Monday if you want. We can ask questions about it after the exam. Okay. If you have anything else that you need to have done, make sure you let me know.